This podcast is a member of the Red 5 Network. For more Red 5 Network podcasts and content creators, visit bio.link/red5.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Hey, and what is up? I hope everyone can hear me. This is Ro from the Scarif Scuttlebutt podcast, part of the Red 5 Network. I'm going to make sure that I can see the chat, because if I'm just talking and nobody can hear me, I would love to get a message. Let's see. Hold on a second here. Oh, yeah, I can hear myself. How is everybody? Thanks for coming by. This is kind of an impromptu last minute thing. I just we're starting a new streaming service. You guys have known that we've been on StreamYard for quite a while, but they tripled the price. I know a lot of people are feeling the heat, and a lot of us are kind of looking for alternatives. So this is an app called One Stream Live, and I think I'm gonna go with it. I know I was experimenting with 3 other apps. EV Mux was one of them. They were pretty good. But I think at this point, all of the apps are very similar in features and functionality. So at this point, I'm just going with price. And this one seemed to be pretty economical. StreamYard, I think for us, would have gone up to like $45, which is crazy. We don't do a lot of streaming, so it really doesn't make sense for us. But I got a deal on this one, $13 for the first month, and we'll see how it goes. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to kind of try it live. I know in 2 days on Saturday, we're going to do our official review show and discussion on Skeleton Crew. So that should be a lot of fun. I know some people have been talking about Skeleton Crew. I'm actually pleasantly surprised that I enjoyed it. I went to go watch it at the local AMC theater here in Chicago, downtown. And I got to tell you, something about watching any Star Wars on the big screen is kind of special. Star Wars, obviously, for me, really belongs on the big screen. I love the shows for the most part, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, Skeleton Crew, will be talking about that. Brad will tune in, and we'll really get down to our reactions, what, going into it. I know, the Acolyte kind of left a bad taste in everybody's mouth. The trailers for this, I know, some people are doing the whole, eye roll at some of the characters, but I got to tell you, I was surprised at how much I seemingly enjoyed it. So we'll get deep into that on Saturday. I just heard a noise, and I have no idea what that was. So let's go check in the chat and see who's there. Okay, it's the real Sean Crummell saying, let me see here. Here's another button. There it is. He says, "Hey ya, buddy." That must be that must have been the noise that I heard. But it's funny because I see another comment and I didn't hear a noise for Danny at Comics and Cosmetics. So I don't know what that noise was. It was a very loud bing. But anyways, Skywalker's Academy is in the house. Thank you for stopping by. Our friend Damon is in the house too. The time that we had him on the show, it was a lot of fun, and go check it out. We have it on YouTube. We also dropped it in the audio feed, but it's one of our most downloaded live shows for 2024. So it's really cool, and he has a lot to say. So really fun stuff. Ubaldo's in the house. Thanks for coming by and hanging out. Who else? Skywalker Academy had a couple of questions earlier before we went on, and I wanted to see if maybe I'm not understanding his question. He says, I've heard different speculation from different channels on what period the credits are from in Skeleton Crew. When is the best guess on that? And I didn't understand because what does he mean by credits? But then he says, let me see here. Yeah, is it High Republic or Clone Wars era? And I thought I heard that it was the Mando era, but I know there were some characters, which again we'll talk about in more detail on Saturday. And was his response to great work is Lena Tso's thing in the High Republic. And yes, you are correct. But what else does he have? The chat is hopping. So the pirates call the credits. Oh, the credits. So being in television, I'm like, the credits. And you're talking about the money credits. And I was talking about the credits that roll. Because, I'm a TV guy. Too funny. So the pirates call the credits Old Republic credits, right? They were called dataries by whim and discontinued and exchanged. Yes. All right. Now I got you. Now everything is clear. And I understand. So yes. That one of the things that intrigues me too really is how this series is going to unfold. And I think we have 8 episodes. I don't know. We'll see. We'll definitely see. And again, we'll talk about that in detail on Saturday. Don't miss. And I think we're going on. We usually go on Saturdays at 7 Central. We are going this Saturday at 8 Central because of my work shenanigans. Last week, we were supposed to record some stuff with Pat and Charles of Conversations, and I didn't get home in time, so we had to kind of postpone it. Work shenanigans. Yes, that's correct. So for Saturday, I have a feeling that I have kind of a similar work shenanigans situation. So I kind of programmed it for 8 o'clock instead of 7. So I hope you guys come back for that. Brad and I will be talking about Skeleton Crew in detail. I had a really good time at the movie theater. We saw Jimmy Mack from Rebel Force Radio. I went with Fan Dads, Victor, who you guys should also look for and follow. A whole bunch of folks from Chicago. Todd from WSTR Galactic Public Access was there with Little T, Trent from Big T and Little T, another one of our wonderful Red 5 Network podcasts. So yeah, look them up. Absolutely, for sure. So we had a good time, had some popcorn, some cherry Coke slushies, and sat in the VIP area there. Thank you, Fan Dads, for that. But again, it's when you go see a Star Wars in a movie theater, it's special. I think I love the movie theater experience. I know a lot of people don't. A lot of people rather do streaming at home, which I understand the comfort. But for me at home, there's too many distractions. In the movie theater is you're kind of just sitting there and you have to sit there and watch. I think one of the things that really that I love about movie theaters is the fact that, there are other people there that they're doing the same thing you are. So it's kind of infectious. It's kind of, there's a camaraderie between some of the folks in the theater that you may or may not know. Obviously, when you go with friends, it's special. But there is a sense of, camaraderie, family, especially when you go see a Star Wars movie. Danny says that she loved Skeleton Crew and she was pleasantly surprised by it. And I think I usually I think that has been the consensus from folks that I know were very disappointed in the Acolyte and the Book of Boba Fett. And it's almost like one of those things where you kind of fall off the wagon, the Star Wars wagon, and you're like you don't trust it anymore. And I completely understand that, but I think going into Skeleton Crew with kind of a not really an open mind too, because we knew what we were going to get. It was heavily marketed. You had a couple of different trailers and previews. We know you know, obviously it was billed as Goonies in space. So, you know, for what it's worth, you know, we knew what we were getting into. But there's a couple of things that surprised me about liking the show. And we'll get into that absolutely. Sean says, at home, I'm usually distracted by my action figures. Yeah, I can totally understand that. And it's funny because here I'm definitely distracted by everything around me, which is a lot of fun. I put some lights here. I just put some lights over here. I have to put I have to put a red gel on the lights because that seems too bright. Andrew number 2, because Andrew from the science fiction area is Andrew number 1, and not for any particular reason other than, you know, Andrew number 2. We got to know him after Andrew number 1. Let's see what Skywalker says. Me too, Danny. Speaking of distractions, my dog Luna thinks one of her buddies, Pumpkin, is outside. Oh, okay. Let's see. What does Sean say? That droid was great. I wish they made him in. Which droid are you talking about, Sean? The droid from Skeleton Crew, or this one that I popped up? This one was and I forgot this droid's name from Mandalorian. But yeah. What else? Yeah, like I said, you know, if you guys are around Saturday night at 8 o'clock, Brad and I were going to really dive into the Skeleton Crew. We're going to talk about the cast. We're going to talk about the situation, then the story, the music. You know, one of the things that that I pay close attention to, obviously, is okay. Gotcha, Sean. Yeah. I forgot. What is his name? I don't remember. Anyways, yeah, one of the things that we're going to talk about, and something that I really pay close attention to, obviously, with these shows, is the music. This was done by the son of Michael Giacchino, if that's how you pronounce it, and he's the guy that that also composed the music to Rogue One. The father did. I think the son handled this series. And I think for me, I was a little underwhelmed at the music. So we'll talk about that in detail on Saturday. Is that what the droid's name is? Okay, Zero, Mike Zero. That's hilarious. I remember Mike Zero. I used to watch Mike Zero and wonder why he wouldn't take down that the dartboard. That's too funny. And I think, didn't he replace it with something else? I don't know. I haven't seen him in a long time. Yeah, Zero without an H. That's hilarious. But Mike Zero was one of those YouTube guys that Ryan Johnson paid close attention to for reasons. But okay, Ryan Johnson. Yeah. It seems like, you know, I know after the Acolyte, there was nothing around and people were, you know, kind of taking a break from podcasting or taking a break from just discussing Star Wars, because we were kind of in limbo. I know people were, you know, looking forward to Andor season 2, like I am. But it seems like once those 2 episodes of Skeleton Crew, you know, popped up, and people started watching it, it seems like, you know, the fever is back. I know a lot of people have been doing their reviews and discussions on the show, so that should be pretty good. Let's see. Loki is in the house. Thank you for stopping by. He says videos are still of the same quality. Gotcha. Yeah. I remember, like, who were some of the early YouTube people that I used to watch when I had this is like before we had the Scarif podcast. But yeah. And speaking of the podcast, we've got a couple of different things in the works, some quick announcements. Brad and I are still trying to figure out a time where we go back into the breaking down of scenes. I know we did the Obi-Wan Kenobi scene, but in A New Hope, we're going into the Empire Strikes Back. One of the things that really intrigues me about that film, it's my top Star Wars. And when Luke Skywalker goes into the tree and pretty much prepares to have a vision quest, if you will, he asks Yoda, "What will I find in there?" And Yoda says, "Only what you take with you." And he puts his weapons on, his gun holster, and he goes in. And as a kid, I always wondered, what would have been his experience if he didn't put the weapons on his belt, if he listened to Yoda and just went in, without the weapons. That scene was intriguing. It's still kind of mysterious, and Brad and I are we've been trying to get together to kind of break that down. I'm also getting together with Cam Ray of Semi Truck Productions. Just kidding, Semi Cam's wonderful comedy account. I'm getting together with him next week. We're going to be talking about the Star Wars holiday special, just in time for us to release kind of a holiday, feel good special for the end of December. We're going to talk about obviously the holiday special, what we remember about it when we watched it on TV, and really just talk a little bit about what we're grateful for, especially being on social media here. What are we grateful for, and what we enjoy? And I know if you ask 100 people about Star Wars Twitter, you would probably get 100 answers. But one of the things that I'm grateful for is meeting all those people that are in the chat now, between the Red 5 Network and some of the other folks that follow us. Day in and day out, listen to the podcast. We really appreciate that. And that should be a lot of fun. I'm also teaming up with my friend Heidi from Costume Co., and we're going to be talking about our favorite 80s movie costumes, not only movie, but TV series. Uh, we teamed up with Prop Store, and some of our Prop Store live shows and audio feeds are easily available in our feed too. But Prop Store is really cool. They give us access to be able to talk about some of the props and costumes that they have. And we're going to go and talk about our favorite 80s costumes in television sci-fi. We did a 70s one where obviously, we made some selections. Buck Rogers in the 25th century, which is it's more 80s. But Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman's costume, the original TV show. So now we're going to kick it up a notch and go into the 80s. Like I mentioned, Buck Rogers. I think Battlestar Galactica is there. And I think Battlestar Galactica for me is one of those TV shows from the 80s that I really, really enjoyed watching. As anybody would know, Battlestar Galactica and Star Wars share a lot of DNA from behind the scenes, from design, from the way that it looked. And it's funny because obviously a lot of people from ILM worked on both shows, and Nick and I did a season 1 of Battlestar Galactica discussion I think it was episode 99. But we're getting ready to talk about Battlestar Galactica 1980. And it's kind of a goofy sequel series to the original. And yes, Loki, I did mention on Twitter how much I loved the original Battlestar Galactica and how I thought it was superior, far superior than the new reboot from the Sci-Fi Channel. I really gave it, I tried to give it a couple of chances, and I did not care for it. So I think a lot of people agreed with my Battlestar Galactica hot take, and I appreciate that. And Rolando, buenas noches, ¿cómo están? Getting a little international with you guys. Yeah, absolutely. So, Let's see, what else are we planning on? You guys, I know a lot of you guys follow the Red 5 Reading Club, and Nicole is a wonderful curator of that channel. And let's see, I think she's doing another show tomorrow at 7:05, Red 5 Reading, with a special guest. I'm not sure if I can announce who the special guest is, but tune in tomorrow on the Red 5 Network YouTube channel. We'll be setting that up for her, and that'll be a lot of fun. I love her questions. I love her Q&A, and those are always fun. Like I said, I'm just testing this new whatchamacallit, this new YouTube streaming service here. And so far I kind of like it more so than some of the other ones. But I don't know if the chat has any questions for me. I don't know how long we're going to remain on here, but I just thought, like I said, I just kind of show up and hang out. If anybody likes Quantum Leap, the original Quantum Leap from yesteryear, at 9 o'clock over at the Price of Reason Live channel, we're going to be talking about Quantum Leap. We have been doing that for probably a little over a year now. Every Thursdays we talk about an episode, and it's been a lot of fun. So I'll be on that show with some other gentlemen. So if you guys want to look for the Price of Reason Live channel. Let's see here. Yeah, everybody's saying hi. Sean says, I wanted to reboot, and I'm assuming we're talking about Battlestar Galactica, but I was always bored. I mean, I kind of felt the same way. Something about the chemistry of the actors in the original Battlestar Galactica was incredibly magical. From Colonel Ty to Boomer to Starbuck and Apollo, obviously. Lauren Green obviously brought a certain gravitas to the show. And speaking of gravitas, I think that's what Jude Law is going to bring to Skeleton Crew. So kind of looking forward to that and seeing what's happening. But yes, Sean also loves Quantum Leap, and Sean is when available, he's also on that stream with us, and I hope to see him later tonight. That's in about an hour. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have any questions, some general questions about anything over here. But again, the Scarif Scuttlebutt podcast available wherever you find your other favorite podcasts. We are part of the Red 5 Network. You can check out other Red 5 Network podcasts and content creators at bio.link/red5, the number 5. And you'll be able to see the rest of the gang over there. I don't know. I'm really liking this environment here on One Stream Live. I know a lot of people have been asking me what streaming service that I chose or steered away from StreamYard because it's crazy. Oh, Sean's got a controversial question. Let's see if I can pop that up. It's not showing up in here, but it's showing up on YouTube as well as Nicole. Here we go. All right. Sean asks, and we had a little bit of a controversy earlier today with Loki. How do you pronounce AT-AT? Just like that. AT-AT. I remember the commercials on TV when I was a kid. The announcer and the kids playing with the AT-AT said AT-AT. But Loki, I understand your argument completely, but it's wrong. It's AT-AT. Nicole says, how much do you love Red 5? And my answer, probably a little too much. That is correct. What am I currently reading? You know what? What am I currently reading? Where did it go? So, no, really, where did it go? Did I put it away? What a doofus. I'm reading Sean Crummel's comic book, but it's not here. I must have grabbed a whole bunch of books and put them away because I did do some straightening up, some cleaning. Sean has a wonderful comic book. He's an artist. Go check out. I think if you listened to our podcast last week, the Scarif Cafe, Sean Crummel was on the show with me talking about special effects in movies and why we are so passionate about them. And I think that is one of the things that I love talking about is special effects. And I think for me, obviously Star Wars is my first love. And reason being is besides the spaceships and all the wonderful visual things that are in the movie, I was fascinated by the special effects of Star Wars. And I think that's one of the things that got me into the career that I'm in now. I'm a news guy. I'm a camera guy. I do graphics. So all that stuff stems from the fact that I absorbed as much as I could when it came to industrial light and magic. And I wanted to see how the magic was done, to be able to maybe understand it a little better and maybe one day do my own magic. I started a video production company in 1994 that I think the process I kind of patterned after George Lucas and Francis Ford Coppola, starting Zoetrope Studios. I remember a story that George Lucas, that Francis Ford Coppola went to, I don't know, maybe in the UK somewhere, but he went to go look at a movie studio that was closing, and they were selling a lot of their stuff. So he picked up a very huge flatbed editor where you would take, movie reels and then go back and forth and then edit them the old fashioned way. And he bought that and brought it back to San Francisco, and George and Zoetrope Studios had their own editing machine. Which I did the same thing. It wasn't a big, large flatbed then, but it was, when we started the company, it was 2 VCRs, professional VCRs with an edit controller. And that was a big expense back in the day. And we were able to purchase, that was one of our first purchases. And then again, taking inspiration from ILM, being kind of the grandfathers of nonlinear editing, we were able to purchase our first nonlinear editing computer and software called Avid Media Composer. My production company was the first company in the Midwest to get one of those. So it's one of those, dream come true type of things that I patterned after, one of my movie heroes, which is George Lucas. So that's a lot of fun. Great story. I kind of love telling that whenever I can if people ask me. So so that is, how did I answer that? I think that went from, what am I reading? Trying to look for Sean's book, and then telling folks that he was on the Scarif Cafe last week. I'm still getting used to these buttons. I'm hitting the button twice and nothing is happening, but now it happened. So yeah, there's another button here called raise your hand. What does that do? There's a hand on the screen. I don't know if you can see it on YouTube. It sounds like you said something, so your hand will be lowered. Okay, lower it. I don't know what that's all about. All right. So again, just testing out the software. If you guys are done and tired of listening to me rant, I was trying to see if anybody else would want to come on here with me, but I guess you just want to hear me blab. So thank you very much. Again, if you guys really want to see us talk and discuss Skeleton Crew on Saturday, so that's Saturday at 8 o'clock instead of 7. But if while you're here, why don't you just hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it. You'll get an email, you'll get an alert when we go live. Loki, that's exactly what I was doing. I was pushing random buttons. Here's one called reactions. and they are emojis, but I don't see anything on the screen. Oh, there. Why is the Scarif crying? Let's see here. Let me know if you see that on screen. I'm not sure if you'll see it on screen, but too funny. So yeah. Oh yeah, there it is. Scarif Scuttlebutt podcast with a crying emoji. That's hilarious. So yeah, that's what happens, Loki, when I press random buttons. So just getting a hang of one stream live, but nothing really major to talk about. Just follow us over at the Scarif Scuttlebutt podcast. Download our latest shows. We've got a couple of shows that are going to be recorded next week. Like I mentioned, I'm getting together with Cam. We're going to be talking about the Star Wars Holiday Special just in time for the holidays at the end of December, and some other shows for you. Brad and I will be back on Saturday. Scarif Live special time, 8 o'clock instead of 7. So please stay tuned. And I think if no one has any more questions or things to say, then I will just consider this a successful stream, a test of the new app. And how many hands? Raise your hands if this was an okay stream. If I looked good, sounded good. There are some more buttons to press, but maybe we'll do that on Saturday. But absolutely, there's a prompter button. Please upgrade. Oh, there you go. So I don't have the prompter ability, but I don't know if I need it. Being in the broadcast world, I've learned from the best. Excellent. Thank you, everyone. And hold on a second. I got some more buttons to push here because we do have, I did load up our graphic. There goes that beep again. Oh, I know why. So if I steer away from the chat and go into another place, it will beep when I have a chat. It'll let me know that, hey, somebody said something. Like that. Skywalker's Academy, thank you very much. See you next time. Everybody in the chat, thank you to Nicole. Thank you to, hey, Tracy Alexander's here. Excellent. Good to see everybody. But yeah, like I said, this was a kind of a last minute thing. I just wanted to test the new software. But this has been a lot of fun. And yeah, if you have not listened to Scarif Cafe last week, head on over to your favorite podcast app and check it out. Will there be a Club Scarif Volume 2? Yes, I think I've been trying to amass another set of some nice night evening club music remixed and remastered with some Star Wars flavor. So if you see Club Scarif in our YouTube channel, check it out. It's got some great tunes, and you can dance to them. Absolutely. All right, guys. Row moving into the Between Two Worlds. Absolutely. I got to set up for some other stuff. But in the meantime, thank you very much, everybody, for kind of hanging out with me tonight. And don't forget to tip your waitstaff. Anything else? No. All right. This is the last button I'm going to push. Until next time, remember to give us a follow, give us a thumbs up, give us all that stuff, subscribe. But Brad and I really enjoy talking nerd stuff, and we absolutely love the fact that you guys listen and download, and more importantly, interact with us when we have something to say on Twitter, because it's a lot of fun answering your questions and kind of hanging out with you guys on all the socials. We are also available on Instagram. I don't do a lot of Instagram stuff, but because I've been doing a lot of posting on Twitter, and I'm not saying X because that's stupid. Anyways, talk to you guys later. And this is Ro again from the Scarif Scuttlebutt podcast. And that's the Scuttlebutt.